Hi, I'm Louise Nicol, the Editor-in-Chief of Harper's Bazaar Arabia. Welcome to this week's episode of Currently Trending, the weekly podcast brought to you by Harper's Bazaar. This week we bring you all the action from Harper's Bazaar's Be Beautiful seminar by bringing together an elite selection of the world's most in-demand beauty experts. Bazaar aims to educate and inspire our audience on the best ways to be beautiful both inside and out. These are the people that royalty, CEOs, film stars and supermodels trust with their looks. And this is what they have to say. This week we hear from anti-aging expert Dr. Barbara Sturm, who pioneered Kim Kardashian's secret weapon, the vampire facial, and is an expert on harnessing our own cells to make us look and feel younger. So for those of us who don't know you, please give us a brief overview of what you do and how you came to do it.
I'm clearly not a beauty junkie, although I'm wearing makeup. I feel very beautiful right now.
You look very beautiful.
Thank you. I studied medicine and sports, and I came together with a group of scientists from Harvard and Pittsburgh, and with a group of orthopedic surgeons in Germany, and I created, I helped pioneering a treatment where you basically take body-owned proteins made from your blood and you re-inject it into the joints and stop the aging process in the joints by taking out inflammation. And I was so intrigued with all the science, I became a scientist myself. So once you're in the room with all these scientists, you think you're that scientist. So I was always like very interested in, injecting, and when it just started that people would put filler into faces in Germany, I was like, okay, I'm learning this, because I am a very artsy person. I love, my eyes is probably the strongest sense in my body. So I started injecting into wrinkles, and of course I wanted to do something on a cellular level and not just injecting fillers and wait until it's gone and then redo it. So I transferred the knowledge from the orthopedics into the skin, because cartilage cells and skin cells work the same way, it's the same tissue family. So I started mixing the proteins made from the blood with the fillers, and I injected this into the skin, and I did a lot of studies and case studies with it, and I found out that it worked brilliantly. So 15 years ago I started something which today is vampire facial or blood facial, and that's what I continued doing and slowly shifted away from the orthopedic, and now got into the whole skin approach. And the same time, I had like problems with my own skin. My skin was always dry, and I had like little blackheads, and I didn't know what to do. And I tried every product on the market. I had to go to a facialist every 3 weeks to clean out my face. It was super annoying, and none of the products worked for me. And I was like, that's insane, So I said, I'm already in this whole skin thing. I do my own cream. So I created this moisturizer, MC1, where I just went to my pharmacist, and we did like a concoction of cream with no preservatives, no fragrances, no mineral oils, none of the aggressive ingredients. And I mixed in my proteins from my blood, my anti-inflammatory proteins, and this healed my skin. I never ever go to the facialist. It's really insane actually, although I'm traveling with one. So this healed my skin ever since, and I brought it to my patients from the orthopedics, and we were pretty wanted from all over the world. People from Hollywood came to us for the orthopedics, and I got them hooked on my cream and all these injectables. So it came to Hollywood, and of course people in Hollywood are way more demanding. To me, a cream was fine. For them it was like, Dr. Sturm, what's your regimen, which cleanser, which serum, which this, and I thought, oh my god, I can't really recommend anything. I have to do my own products. So I created like a small little line, and I started with a cleanser, I started with a facial scrub, with 2 creams for the people who couldn't give their blood or weren't in the clinic, and I created this Hyaluronic Serum, and I probably was the first who did a Hyaluronic Serum because that's what I wanted to do. Because I was injecting Hyaluronic Serum, I thought this is something we could also put on top of our face for our skin. And I created something which has different molecule sizes, which penetrates into deeper skin layers, also in different skin layers. And it recreates hyaluronic acid underneath, even after 6 to 8 weeks, in a long-term effect. And it's a serum which actually won Serum of the Year by Harper's Bazaar. So
amazing.
Fits beautifully.
And the collection is now available in Harvey Nichols, Dubai,
Yay.
And also Net-a-Porter.
Yes.
Yeah. But I think what's interesting, and the reason we asked you to be on the wellness panel was because it's very much derived from the inside out, as you pioneered with the blood, and the vampire facial, which I'm sure everyone's heard of, and Kim Kardashian calls it her secret. What is it?
Secret weapon.
But then
she was talking about the supplements.
She's also done the vampire facial.
Yes, she did.
So
she did. Yeah.
I think it's this concept of using your own cells and using what's inside to really enhance the outside as well that is really fascinating. Yeah. How do you think the future of beauty is going to come to be driven by the inside?
First of all, I want to say something about the cellular level, and I was so happy that everybody today and all the speakers were talking about it. It's really about keeping our cells strong and alive and vital and possibly from dying, because what's happening is when cells, we have like chromosomes in our cell which duplicate each cell division first, and then two new cells get created, and each duplication, the ends of the chromosomes, the so-called telomeres, get shorter each cell division. And this, once the telomeres are too short, cells underlie the natural programmed cell death. It's called aging. It's normal. Every cell does that. But there's an ingredient which is called telomerase activator, which keeps those telomeres from shortening. And Harvard brought out a study like 3 years ago which says it's the only ingredient which not only stops the aging process but also reverses it. They tested this in mice. But what I want to say, you can keep your cells functioning, you can keep your cells alive, you can keep your cells from dying. And basically that's my cutting edge ingredient in every skincare product I made, because of course I couldn't put blood in the normal range. I had to come up with something else. And this whole telomere thing, and Frau Dr. Jakob will tell you later more about it, because it's just like such an important fact in our cell health and keeping our cells from aging, from dying. So this is something you should put in your routine every day, not just in the skincare products, but also as a supplement. So I also created supplements with those ingredients which are great for your skin from the outside. The future totally will, in my eyes, will point to the idea that the cells stay alive, healthy, and vital. And I think that's the goal. Also, I'm working with Dr. Jakob on something, and we actually also already bringing it to patients. We create stem cells from your own body by tricking them to produce a lot from your bone marrow. So that's actually really genius.
That's actually interesting, because a lady mentioned to me earlier that for those of us here who are maybe in the generation before stem cell collection was kind of a thing, they feel like they've missed out maybe on the opportunities that some younger women today can take advantage of.
This whole stem cell thing is, it's been talked to death. If somebody tells you you should use apple stem cells or melon stem cells, just eat the apple and you're good. It's not about that. It's really something which needs to come from our own body, I think. You shouldn't collect stem cells from other creatures. I don't believe in it so much. So I think it's a really genius idea to stimulate your bone marrow to produce your own stem cells, release it into the blood, into the periphery, take your blood and really be able to measure the amount of stem cells you create from your own bone marrow, and then you have it, and you have it. We centrifuge it in a certain way, then we have the plasma with the stem cells. We can use it for joint injections, we can use it for face injections, for skin injections, for anything you want it to be. But don't believe that somebody who talks about, I'm using your fat and then re-inject it. Of course, these are stem cells as well, but it's not like the sense of pluripotent stem cells what we are talking about when we talk about cutting-edge medicine.
And I know a lot of the doctors this morning were saying that they're analysing faces and what have you. And I think, is that something that you do as well? And can you see from looking at someone what might not be quite right on the inside or where they're not performing? Is there an external manifestation of that?
Of course, I think. I've been doing face art. I call it face art because I feel I'm more an artist. Skills, everybody can learn how to hold an injectable, but I feel like you have to have an eye to really know what you're doing with the face. So I think I'm pretty good in doing that, but it's like also when you see someone and you are like, focused on the face, you don't look them in the eye anymore, which is really impolite. I'm sorry for that, but you access the face, and not just, where the structures are and what you would do to this face, but also how does the skin look? Because it's not just, structures which keeps us young, and that's why I created this as well. I wanted the skin to be beautiful, healthy, glowy, dewy. Like, you know, I don't want to hide behind makeup if I don't have to. I just want to show my skin. I want to get up in the morning. I have children. I'm like, bam, 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 bam. I don't have time. I just want to put my cream on and feel beautiful. So when somebody comes to me and you can see the skin is irritated, it's red, it's big pored, it break out, you know there's something wrong. I also see if somebody uses acid peel, I see it right away. I see it.
Yeah. And what lifestyle methods do you personally live by to stay feeling well? Not just looking great, but feeling great. You have a young daughter, 3.5. You're flying around the world. You're building a skincare empire.
Big thing in a good lifestyle is happiness. So whatever you do, if you're happy, if you're passionate, if you really live for what you want to do in life, then that's a good approach. I'm happy that I have a 3-year-old, although it adds a lot of work to me. I sleep in bed with her every night. It's just the best you can have. So I feel really blessed also being able to do what I want. So I think that's really all good. But you know what's really important, we have to live an anti-inflammatory lifestyle. When I say I'm coming from the orthopedics, I worked a lot in the anti-inflammatory field, creating anti-inflammatory proteins, but it's a whole lifestyle. Inflammation is what kills us in the end. Inflammation is what makes our cells being sick and dying. And I feel like if you take, and for the skin especially, you know, inflammation is shown in redness, irritation, aging, big pores, breaking out. I mean, name it, everything is going together with inflammation. So how can we solve the inflammation level in our body and our skin? We take out, you know, bad ingredients out of skincare, of course. So this is easy to do. The second thing is we need to have enough sleep. You know, it's not always possible because we have social life, we have dinners, we have to travel. So just make sure you get enough sleep. And it's not good to look at your phone before you go to bed because it messes with your sleep and with your deep sleep, and it's not good for regeneration in our cells. So try to keep the phone away.
How long should we be sleeping?
2 hours. 2 hours.
No phone for 2 hours?
No phone, because it messes with your day and night cycle. It's really important.
And then sleep for how long, ideally?
Some people need less, others more. I need more. I try to go to bed early because I'm an early riser as well. So I think 8 hours at least you should have at night. And you should have a really good diet, and we should be smart about what we eat. You know, we go to Nobu, we eat tuna. I don't eat tuna anymore. It's full of mercury. So keep the tuna away. Eat a little salmon. I think we have to really see what we put in us. Also, you know, it shows on our outside and our skin, but imagine how our organs inside look if our skin is messed up. But regarding food, it's important to keep out, you know, bad carbs, processed meat, sugars, sodas. I mean, we all know this, fried food. And what's really anti-inflammatory food, and that's a study by Harvard as well, it's like tomatoes, olive oil, green leaf vegetable, walnuts, almonds, mackerel, salmon, cherries and oranges, very anti-inflammatory. But you also can take the skin food and the repair food. It's also really good.
So if we don't want to eat kale, we can take the supplement. I'll take the supplement.
Exactly, it's really good because it's hard to find purslane, which is the herb, which is all this telomerase activator and anti-inflammatory herb. It's hard to find it on the farmer's market. I tried it everywhere, so I created this skin food and repair food, which is amazing. But when it comes to anti-inflammation, we can't do anything about the air we breathe. So it's also a problem. Pollution creates a lot of inflammation, not just in our skin and our whole body, and we breathe it, and it's really hard. And you know, Dubai has bad pollution. So I created the anti-pollution drops, and I wish I could solve the problem with the air instead of doing the anti-pollution drops. But the anti-pollution drops, it creates a shield on your skin and keeps the pollutants from coming into your skin. And what's also super important, not many people know this yet, it's a very new science. The blue light from the phones, HEV, and from our computers, they're short wavelength waves. They penetrate our skin stronger and deeper than UVA and UVB combined. So if you think you need sunscreen, you need to use anti-pollution drops. We have an ingredient which stops the HEV light from penetrating. And it's also for our kids sitting in front of the computer and the phone. It's really bad for our skin. It destroys skin barrier functions, and it's really a problem. So I added this to our routine for anti-inflammation.
That's fascinating. Now, there's been kind of this backlash against the term anti-aging, and various magazines have stopped using it. It's this mindset to embrace it and to, you know, not see it as something that we have to fight. What's your take on that and how that relates to how we feel inside?
I think it's just a term. You can call it whatever you want. You know, to me, it's important that I look in the mirror and I'm happy with myself, and I rather look like 12 for the rest of my life than, you know, it's just my feeling. But I love when people are like, oh, I'm so happy, and I don't look like 12, and it's a mindset, and everybody should decide for themselves what they like to look when they look in the mirror. It's important that everybody starts their day happy, and if you have like bad feelings when you look in the mirror, then you waste all this energy on how you look. So just find the best way for yourself.
Yeah, and don't judge yourself, don't put pressure on yourself,
no,
I
just
guess.
Be happy.
And if you had to pick one out of the range, the single most transformative product that we could use here, for those of us living in this kind of sandy, dusty, air-conditioned.
You know, I'm obsessed with every product, otherwise I wouldn't bring any product out. If you want to start with one product, I'm always like, I started with my cream. To me, the moisturizer is it's the one thing you have to have. If that's number one, the second one, I would say the Hyaluronic Serum. You can put it underneath makeup, on top of makeup. A serum is important to put underneath your moisturizer, just because water solution brings active ingredients into your skin way better than a lipid phase in form of a cream. So always the serum first. Use the Super Anti-Aging Serum. It's packed with peptides, super high on purslane, antioxidants, great for night repair. This is something everybody should have that. And who knows the glow drops?
Glow drops? Anyone knows the glow drops? Yeah, we've got a few over here.
That's so awesome. It's like cashmere and silk on your skin. You put it on, you feel like vacation. It brightens your skin. It defines your pores. It's just the super beautiful skincare product for during the day to top up your makeup, or just it's just. I love all my products.
Yeah. And what's new to the range is this really super cute kids range that Dr. Sturm developed with your daughter in mind, Pepper.
This was only for Pepper. This was just playing around. I couldn't trust any other product, so I made like samples for her with products. And then my friend said, can I have those too? So I gave samples to everyone, and it became like massive, sending out samples all the time. I said, this is ridiculous. I just make those products. So it's like everything comes organically. It's not. I don't do this to make money. I do this really because I believe in it. I do this because I want to make a change for every woman, because when I suffered on dry skin and blackheads, I was not happy, and I did this practically for myself, and what a surprise. So many women have the same problem like me, so it seems to help for everybody. And not just women, also men. I have a really huge men following because it's a unisex, beautiful life. Everybody can take it. Nothing is greasy. So if you have oily skin, dry skin, you always need hydration. It's cooling. It's like just refreshing. It goes right into your skin and gives this beautiful, dewy, glowy skin, right?
And you were developing all of this while looking after Pepper, bringing her up. She's 3.5. Forget the products for now. Tell us about Dr. Barbara, the mum, and how you manage that juggle, that balance, because I know that's something a lot of us here really struggle with or beat ourselves up over, maybe.
Oh my God, yeah. I have a 22-year-old daughter as well, and I probably lived my whole life with guilt because I'm working. I'm really working. I had patients all over the world, and my older daughter was traveling with me. She was sitting in their living room while I was doing their faces, playing on her Nintendo, and I feel like with Pepper it kind of repeats, and on a way stronger level actually. But I keep my kids close. I sleep with them in bed if I can, if I have them. We snuggle a lot. I try to dedicate time when I have it, even if it's a little. We have a really amazing relationship. I'm sorry they have to travel. I'm sorry I'm not the best mom, but sometimes I'm a good mother, and other days I'm a great business person, so nobody's really perfect.
What advice do you have for everyone here who might have similar days when you don't feel like you're doing the best job in either field?
Yeah, I don't know, do some sports. Go out with your girlfriends, go shopping.
Yeah, don't beat yourself up, I guess.
Yeah, I think we can't beat that. It's also our lives, you know. It's not just for our children, not just for our business. And I'm not so good in taking care of myself, right, Ushi? Probably not. But I'm a caretaker of others. I really care about every single person, and I love it. That's why I became a doctor, I guess.
Great. Thank you. Well, thank you so much. Thank you for listening to Currently Trending from Harper's Bazaar Arabia. Please comment on our Instagram or Facebook pages at Harper's Bazaar Arabia. And don't forget to rate, review, and subscribe on iTunes.